Good morning. Let's talk about career break, luxury life things. Let's talk about how Black women should take a career break. And I'm going to give you some tips for living a luxurious lifestyle while you're on that break. Okay, we're not talking about today career breaks where you're pooping in trash cans, which I've done, which I did on my career break when did a work exchange. We're talking about how to do a career break and live a luxurious lifestyle, live a soft life, if that's what you want to call it, right? Okay, let's talk about those things today. I'm going to give you, I think, 7 different tips, tools, keys, steps. Um, then we'll walk through them together. I'll tell you what the 7 steps are before we get started. But first, if you're new here, my name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School and the co-creator of Exodus Summit, and I help Black women take a sabbatical, move abroad, bop around on as a nomad, all while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Yeah, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring that notification bell so that you will be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. Okay. All right. So I've talked about in previous videos how in 2015 I quit my job to travel for a year. I was a hospital pharmacy technician and I was making $22 an hour. I quit my job to travel for a year on savings. I had $14,000 and I did a real budget sabbatical. I did a grown up gap year on a dime. I had a $1,200 per month budget. And that video, I'll link to that video in the description. That video is called, or there's several, but one of them is called like affordable sabbatical or affordable gap year or something like that. Affordable is in the title. Um, but we don't only want to travel that way. Sometimes we want a little luxury in our lives. I told you before, I'm in my pleasure period, right? I want to do things that feel good on the inside, on the outside, all over. And so let's talk about a more luxurious sabbatical. Let's talk about a career break that you'll enjoy even more. Okay? Look at me, acting brand new. I done forgot what I'm doing. I forgot myself. Good morning, Georgette. Good morning, Jasmine. Good morning, Nautia. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Locating Cozy. Good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, Nirel, Becoming Nirel. Good morning, My Stethoscope Travels. Good morning, My Turn. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Natasha. Hey, Jess. Hey, let's talk about it with Mara. Hey, Mara. Good morning, PIE Management. Good morning, Lenora and Tiffany. Hey, SLS Forever. Hey, Valerina, Charlesetta, Tamara, Tandy, Josette, Marilyn. How's everybody this morning? Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Ms. B. Good morning, the real Vicky B. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Janae. Can we keep it? Nope. We got not a name. Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, Tia. All right, everybody doing good today? Let's go ahead and get started. I think to start off, I'm gonna stop sweating soon. I promise. Okay, I'm gonna stop sweating in just a minute. Okay, just give me a minute. I will. I think we should start off by defining a couple of things. So I'm gonna tell you what I mean by career break and what I mean by luxury. Um, and that's where we'll start. I got to get myself together. I'm not all the way together, as you can tell. Okay, but I got coffee in front of me. I'm gonna get myself together. Okay, I got coffee. It's only 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's not like it's bright and early, but I've been awake. So before I turned 49, no matter what, I'm a very light sleeper. I've always been a very light sleeper. Before I turned 49, if I woke up, I just went back to sleep. If I woke up too early, I just went back to sleep. But as you know, I turned 49 last month. And now when I wake up, it takes forever to get back to sleep. So I think 3 out of the last 4 nights I've woken up about 4:30 in the morning for 2 different reasons. And uh, by the time I can fall back asleep, it's time for me to get up and get started with the day. I don't like that at all. Some of y'all are used to functioning with less sleep, but not me. I don't like it. It's not right. I don't recommend it for anybody. Okay? But I think I've stopped sweating, I think. I have coffee. I got my necklace on, so I got my powers. So I'm ready to go. Okay, let me get my notes. So let's define what I mean by career break and define what I mean by luxury. Okay. Luxury to me is not necessary. It's not about spending the money. Okay. It's not about spending luxury dollars on brand name luxury goods. I'm not talking about luxury goods when I say a luxury career break and a luxurious lifestyle. For me, luxury means ease and flow, right? It means pleasure. It doesn't mean brand name, right? To me, when I say it's a luxurious lifestyle, it means I get to indulge in whatever is pleasurable to me. Indulgent, it means self satisfying to me, not based on what other people say should be my direction. Um, Luxury. Yeah. When I say luxury, I mean pleasure, right? And pleasure is different. What things that bring you pleasure are different than what brings me pleasure, okay? But we're talking about how to have a period in your life where you focus on the things that bring you pleasure. And in shorthand, we're going to call that luxurious, okay? We're going to call that luxury. All right, because I think that the idea of luxury goods being the only way to live a luxurious lifestyle, that's wrong. That's backwards. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap to keep you working and earning more money so you can afford more luxury goods. For if luxury to you always means luxury goods, then when I say luxury, you say pleasure, or you say whatever word means more sense to you. Okay? I think we can understand that. And then when I say career break, I mean time as an adult that is not revolving around work. Time as an adult where you don't have to do that thing that you do, whatever that work is, that job is. You don't have to go into that place and deal with them people, where those people are not the boss of your time, where you are the boss of your time. I tweeted this week that, and Adelia and Rashida and I talked on Adelia's podcast, Picky Girl Travels the World podcast. We were interviewed, and the podcast is already out, put out yesterday. And I said that time freedom is my favorite freedom. I really do think that. I think that being the boss of your time is a luxury beyond any other luxury. Being the boss of your time, having been a person who for all of my working years could not be the boss of my time, right? I was in the army, and then I worked in a hospital, and then I worked for a bank, which wasn't very time demanding, but the other things were very controlling of your time. Like when I worked in the hospital, they'd be like, "Oh, we're expecting a snowstorm. Y'all, when y'all come to work tonight, expect to spend the night." No, I will not. No, I will not. But people did it, and for some women, it was a little fun. Some women had families and kids at home, and they would prefer to spend the night at the hospital. That was real talk. But I did not, and I wanted to go home, and so I went home. Plus, I had a little dog. Okay, so a career break is time in your adult life when you don't work, when work is not the focus of your life. Now, there are many ways to do a career break, including uh, leaving your job, but still doing some work for money, still doing some job or work for money, right? You can do that. If leaving your job and becoming a dog walker for money is that counts as a career break as far as I'm concerned, right? A break from your career doesn't mean that you have to be in a position where you're not earning money, okay? I'm a house sitter, I walk dogs, I make money. I make money on YouTube, right? But I don't have a job. I don't have someone who's in charge of my time. So, career break, for purposes of this, we're going to give it a broad definition. Just a break from your career, whatever that is, even if you still have to earn money, right? But if you don't have to earn money, even better. If you have the savings, if you have the something, the income, if you have something and you don't have to earn money during the career break, even better. Okay? So those are my caveats before we get started. Now, I'm going to tell you the 7 tips I have for you to live a luxurious lifestyle while you're on a break for Black women. Okay? I'm going to tell them now and then we'll go through them. Number one, slow down. Slow down. Number two, follow your pleasure. Number three, build quality relationships. Number four, spend time in nature. Number five, spend time in luxury. Number six, attend a luxury event, which is different than spending time in a luxury space. And number seven, give. Okay? All right, so those are my 7 tips. We'll walk through them and we'll talk about them, how we feel about them and what they mean to us, okay? I need more coffee. I usually don't drink coffee on camera because it's hard for me to not go, that's good. After every sip. I went on a date one time years ago with a man who, after every sip of his soda, and I couldn't go on another date with him. But with coffee, I'd be like, that's good. I'm drinking, Amelia gave me vanilla extract from Trinidad and Tobago. Amelia in Morocco, in our Morocco meetup. We met, the Exodus Summit gang met up in Morocco in April. At the Morocco meetup, Amelia gave me vanilla extract from Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm drinking that in my coffee. And I'm like, I got that, plus I got half and half, or heavy. I think this time I might have bought heavy cream. I'm like, this is good. Okay, this is good. So I'm going to try not to drink too much of the coffee on here, but I do want to finish it because, as I said, I didn't get in my full sleep night. So let's see. I'm gonna see if anything. Oh, Lenora says, I remember staying at my job for a week during a blizzard. Thank goodness those days are over. Thank goodness. For some people, it might be more relaxing. Like I said, there were women at my job who were like kind of excited about spending the night. They would prepare to spend the night when we would be expecting a snowstorm. I worked at a hospital and I worked in the pharmacy and we worked night shift. And you know how snow is, always piling up at night. So it's always the night shift where they'd be like, bring your stuff, prepare to spend the night. And some would. It never came to a point where they were like, Stephanie, you have to spend the night. It was always somebody has to spend the night. And there were some women who were into it, but I was never. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No. My off hours are my off hours. Thank you. Diamond, yes, time is so precious and I want full control over it. Time freedom is my favorite freedom. It's my favorite freedom. All right. It's my favorite freedom. We're talking about career breaks now. I'm going to tell you more about Exodus Summit in a little while. We're going to talk about Exodus Summit throughout this video today. But if you're new here and you don't yet know what Exodus Summit is a virtual conference for Black women who are interested in a sabbatical, a move abroad, or a nomadic life, bopping around. Exodus Summit happens October 6th through 9. It's all online. And our sessions this year are on the theme location freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom for Black women. Location freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom for Black women. The freedoms, okay? If these things are interesting to you, you should go ahead and get your ticket at exodussummit.com. We have some speakers coming in to teach you how to take a career break. If you're brand new to the whole concept of a career break, and you see women in the chat right now talking about, I'm on a career break, or I took a career break for an amount of time back in this time, you're like, wait a minute, what? We doing what now? If this is a new idea to you, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you because you don't know what's about to happen. Your life is about to get flipped, turned upside down, okay? And Exodus Summit can help facilitate that, can help accelerate that for you. So please join us at exodussummit.com, October 6th through 9, 2023. If you're watching the replay in the future, hello, friends in the future. I hope it's amazing there. Still, you can go to exodussummit.com. If the summit has already happened, you can still watch replays. You can still get a replay ticket. Okay? All right, thank you. Erica, I got demoted for not staying at work during Hurricane Katrina. These jobs ain't loyal, right? These jobs ain't loyal. They don't care about you. At most jobs, if you're an American person, and especially if you're a Black woman in America, your job views you as a worker, not as a person. They don't care about you as a person. You are a worker who's supposed to do this work, and that's it. These jobs ain't loyal. So we're not loyal. which is why you see a lot of women in this chat talking about, I quit my job. Anybody here quit their job to take a career break? Some women get a career break because their job offers that kind of benefit. Particularly if you work for a European employer, I think they're probably the most likely, right, to have some sort of sabbatical policy on the books. Who was the last person I talked to about that? Oh, I talked to a woman who lives, I think she works for a Canadian company or a French company, and they had a sabbatical policy every X years. You could take X number of months off, right? Which was pretty, it was a pretty liberal policy. I remember being like, that's really good. But mostly, very few of us have that option. So we see a lot of women in this community, in this chat, who take the career break into their own hands, right? And craft their own time off and come back when or if they see fit, as they see fit. Okay? Yeah. Moments of essence. I quit my job and kind of fell into a career break. That's right. Tiffany Cherry, I quit in 2020. I love it. Congratulations, Tiffany. Right? So let's talk about the first thing. Okay, so my first tip for Black women on a career break to live a luxurious lifestyle is to slow down. One of my first revelations when I left the United States for the first time for an extended period of time, which was my career break, was how urgent we treat everything, how much we rush. Everything is urgent, everything is now, 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 and that gets into you, that gets into your body. And I don't like it. I don't like rushed me compared to slowed down me. So tip number one is slow down. Slow down in every part of your life, okay? So yes, to slow down, slowing down in the way that you see and treat things. Things are not urgent. I promise you, those things that you're treating like they're urgent, they're probably not urgent. Very few things are actually as urgent as we treat them, right? Slow down in going back to work. Okay, you have enough money to not work for 6 months, but you're going to go back in 2. No, slow down. Don't rush back to work. Don't rush. Also, like, don't rush to explain yourself. There's an affirmation by Tony Jones, I believe her name is. And she always says, I won't explain why I'm so dressed up. And I love that gets me. That gets me. Even though that's not my thing, I'm not a dressed up person. I'm usually underdressed, not overdressed, right? I wear sneakers everywhere. But the fact that she says it gets to me, right? Don't explain. Slow down explaining yourself. Don't rush to explain what you're doing or why you're doing it, especially to people who are not going to understand it anyway. They're not going to agree with you. They're not going to get it. Slow down. Slow down and going back to work. Slow down your day. Slow down your response to things. Slow down explaining yourself. Slow down. Okay? All right? See me, my organization had a sabbatical policy and a remote work policy. I was denied both, so I left and took a break. Take it into your own hands, right? There are pathways to career breaks that include leaving your job. Just leaving. If you got a job, you can get another job. All right. Global Granny is Anita. She says slowing down is hard, but oh my goodness, when you do it, it's life changing. Isn't it? Isn't it? And then you be looking at other people like, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. That was the first revelation that I had on my career break. We move too fast. We're rushed. Everything is urgent. We're in fight or flight mode all the time. Got to, got to, got to, got to, got to. Got to respond, got to act, got to do, got to hustle, got to walk fast. I can't sit down and drink this coffee. I got to drink the coffee on the move, right? You go to some place anywhere else in the world and order a coffee and try to take it to go. I mean, like Starbucks. Everybody has Starbucks. But in a regular cafe, no, you don't do that. Sit down and drink that coffee. Espresso is only this big, but they expect you to sit down in that seat, drink that espresso, look out the window or read your little book, Read a newspaper, think, whatever. You're not taking your thing to go. Eating and walking or eating and driving, not a thing in the rest of the world. I was a pro at eating and driving. I mean, I would eat McDonald's, and I still do, tell the truth. I would eat McDonald's pancakes and sausage while driving. Put the butter on, cut the pancakes, pour on the syrup while driving, right? I'm a pro at eating while driving. They don't do that. Other people do not do that. You look in people's cars in the US. I ride in buses from place to place sometimes, right? Look, you can look into people's cars in the US. You look into cars, it's not unusual to see somebody eating a burger, a sandwich, something. You don't see that in other countries. You don't see people driving and eating. Slow down. It's not urgent. Take your time. Enjoy the pleasure that is eating and chill. 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 Really, number one is chill. Josette Compton says slowing down also means setting aside your phone. On Sundays, I turn off my phone until about 7. I check messages and place it back on silent. It allows me to just be. That's right. That's right. Your phone is trying to make you think everything is urgent. All the notifications, all the alerts, it's probably not urgent. It's probably not urgent, right? But your phone is treating everything like it's urgent, making everything a priority. I told y'all I was gonna stop sweating, but I haven't yet. I got my ceiling fan on and the air on, but I'm 49 now and things are unpredictable. Okay? Things are unpredictable. I'm telling y'all. I feel like I was not fully prepared for 49. Somebody should have told me. Journey with Mar. I used to eat a salad while driving. Right? Eating on the move is pretty commonplace in the United States, but that's just the United States, right? They don't do that. They don't do that in Europe. They don't do that in Latin America. They don't do that. I've only been to South Africa and Morocco, but I'm gonna say they don't do that in Africa. They don't do that. They definitely don't do that in Asia, right? You pull over, you sit yourself on a little red stool and you eat your meal. Sit yourself down. You're not going to a restaurant in Vietnam, a little mom and pop, and taking your food to go. You sit right there, sit on that stool and eat that food. And then you go do what else you have to do, right? Slow down. That it's really, I think, the pace that people move, I think, is a real indicator of soft life, right? So we've talked a lot about my dislike of the way soft life is presented. I like that there's a package, a thing that women are using, a phrase that women are using to explain what we want for ourselves, but I don't like the way it's been packaged because a lot of the soft life presentation requires a lot of hustling and a lot of grinding and a lot of putting up with toxicity and a lot of stuff that is antithetical to soft living. If you really want soft living, you will slow down. It's really a good indicator. You never see somebody who you're like, oh my gosh, she is luxury, right? You never see her rushing. She walks into the room and she takes her time, right? Your vision right now of being at a dinner party and seeing someone or a party, a thing, right? An event, you're at an art gallery, whatever, right? And you see someone walk in and you're like, ooh, look at her. She didn't walk in like, what? No, she didn't. She took her time entering that room. Slow down. It's really hard. It's a really hard thing to do, which is why I recommend a nice long career break. Because some of this stuff, it takes time. It takes time. If you're going to take a break, take a long break. A good time for a career break is between jobs. If you know a job or a contract is ending, okay, career break time. In the US, you primarily only hear about people taking a gap year after college and hardly ever then. But sometimes you do hear about it after college. But anytime that it naturally makes sense, anytime you're going to be without a job already, you see, can you turn that into a nice extended career break? I've done that multiple times. I did it after the Army. And I did it between the time I went from the bank, after the Army, but before I got the job at the bank. And then I did it again after the bank and before I went to the hospital pharmacy, right? I went from the Army to credit analyst to pharmacy technician, and I took breaks in between all of those. Uh, so that's a natural time. Between jobs is a natural time to do it. Also, just when you feel like it. When you feel like it. Okay? Oh, Erica, after attending Exodus Summit and learning from me and Rashida, Erica moved to Mexico and works for herself. Lovely. Left the cushy corporate job and so much happier. That's right. The things that we call good jobs are not, there's no such thing. I submit that there is no such thing as a good job. You hear people talk about it. I got a good government job. I got a good whatever. A job is always supposed to be a means to an end. And what you need, right? If your job is not giving you what you need, it's not a good job. Okay? If what you need is to be free, look, if what you need is some location freedom, you want to see the world, you want to bop around, right? And your job does not permit that, it's not a good job. There's no such thing as a good job, right? There's a job that fits your needs and a job that doesn't fit your needs. And that same job can be both of those things at different times in your life. What you need for yourself, right? Your job can help you get it, or your job can hinder it. If your job is in the way, it's not a good job. There's no such thing as a good job. There's a job that fits your needs, gets you what you want in your life, and there's a job that prevents you from getting what you want in your life. Okay? There's no such thing as a good job. I don't care. I don't care. If it's not meeting your needs, it's not a good job. If it's not getting you, if a job is a means to an end, right? If we agree that a job is not your identity, which it's not, and we agree on this, whether you know it or not, we agree that a job is not an identity, then a job is just a means to an end. For some people, it's money. For some people, it's the work, right? The actual work might be fulfilling or fun or something challenging, right? The means to an end. What you need at different times in your life changes, right? Sometimes you need more money. Sometimes you need more fulfillment. Sometimes you need more interesting things. I don't know. Maybe always you need the fulfillment and the interesting things. But what was a good job for you at some point can be not a good job for you today. Okay? So that means there's no such thing as a good job. It's just a job. There's no such thing as a good job. It's just a job. Either it gets you closer to what you want or it doesn't. And things that hinder what you want in your life, I think we call them toxins. I think that we call things that are in the way of you being you, if not toxins, we call them something. Not good. Good is not the word we put on them. Okay? Good is not the title. Okay? All right. Choose your end. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie DK says, then you have to choose your end. Choose what it is that you want for yourself. Somebody right now is saying, but I don't know what I want for myself. That's okay too. That's okay. You've been busy, right? You've been working, maybe overwhelmed, and you have not had the opportunity to explore what you want for yourself. The solution for that is a career break. The solution for that is a sabbatical. The solution for that is time off, extended time off in your adult life where you don't have work telling you what to do and where to be and who to be and how to be. Okay? Okay. Just Kendra says, a lot of these people cannot wait to get a Black woman stuck in a bad situation. I think you mean me. But no, we out here living. This is a community of Black women out here living. If you're worried about getting yourself stuck in a bad situation, then work on it, right? What do you need? If when you see people, Kendra, this is for you. When you see people living their dreams, living their lives, if your first response is negative, It's because you think it's not possible for you. And so your response is, I need to poo-poo this on for other people too. But clearly it's possible. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Clearly it's possible. If you can read the chat, you see that it's possible. So instead of saying, this is bad, I can't, da, 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 you could say, how we just talked about this last week. How did you do that? Last week I did a video on 4 questions that changed my life. How did you do that? How could I do this? Right? The first 2 questions are the way. You could say, this bad, y'all black women, y'all doing it wrong. Or you could say, how did y'all do that? And how do I do this? It's why this whole channel, it's why this entire movement, it's why Exodus Summit exists. Okay? All right. Dysfunctional. Thank you, artwork. I said toxic. Artwork Insight says we call that dysfunctional. Something that prohibits you from being who you need to be, being who you want to be, something that gets in your way. Okay. Artwork Insight says we call that dysfunctional. Okay. Okay. I believe that. Okay. I believe that. All right. Clarissa Jones, I agree. As a person much closer to retirement, that career ambition, I so wish I had your way of thinking 30 years ago. You're where you are today. You still here. Okay. You still here. Uh, and we're all young as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't know if you know this. I think I'll probably be around till 120 years old. So we're all still pretty young. We all still have time. We all still have time. Yeah. Donna O'Neill says, just a few days ago, my mother told me work doesn't die, right? It's not going anywhere. If your fear of leaving work today is that it's going to dry up, probably not. It ain't going nowhere. But you might. You might. Yeah. Janae, the luxury vagabond. So many people work with no end in sight, no exit plan. I love that the younger generations have no job loyalty. We're not going to be loyal to anything that's not loyal to us. Reciprocity, baby. Tell me who I have to be. Oh, I'm sorry, Kendra. Kendra says she was referring to positions that are not as good as they seemed. I apologize, Kendra. Okay, let me drink some more coffee. Let me get more coffee in me so I can comprehend better. Okay? So that wasn't for Kendra, but it was for somebody. Okay? So it wasn't for Kendra, but it was for somebody. If your automatic response is, this is dangerous, ask some more questions. Ask some more questions. Okay? Okay, let me get more coffee. More coffee. All right? Excuse me. Alyssa Hunter says, do we know of a moving abroad coach? Yes. You will find them at Exodus Summit 2023. I'm not kidding. We put Exodus Summit together to get you the progress, the plan that you need. And uh, women are coming to speak at Exodus Summit 2023 to get you out the door, right? To get you a plan towards the thing that you want in your life, whether it's a move abroad, whether it's to live nomadically and just bop around, whether it's a sabbatical, a career break. I'll be talking about house sitting. Rashida Dow is a career break coach, and she'll be talking about the logistics of a career break. Coach Tish is I would say, intention and mindset coach, and she'll be talking about how to coach yourself to freedom if the fear, the mindset is the thing that's getting in your way. So we have some coaches at Exodus Summit 2023 who are specifically here to get you what will get you results, give you the tools that will give you the results. Rashida Dow is a career break coach, and her YouTube channel is Rashida Dow. And she's the co-founder of Exodus Summit. I'm gonna put the link in here. I can do it. I can do it. YouTube.com/Rashida Dow /at Rashida Dow. Okay, so Rashida is a career break coach who's speaking at Exodus Summit because she is the co-creator of Exodus Summit along with me. But you can go ahead and subscribe to her YouTube channel now. right? Go ahead and click on her YouTube channel today. She has a coaching program called From Burnout to Bliss, where she coaches Black women from burnout to bliss. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it includes career breaks and moves abroad and just doing things a different way, just reprioritizing life, like putting work in its place, right? No longer letting work center itself, no longer letting work dictate how we live. Okay. All right. So slow down was number one. My travel goddess brought her all access pass to Exodus Summit an hour ago. Thank you. We're glad that we're going to see you there. And we are so excited for the transformation that's going to come to you. Every year we get to see it. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. Somebody who has a ticket doesn't even know, right? Some of you, you have your tickets. I think we've got more than 750 people registered already. More than 750 Black women registered already. We still have 6 weeks to go. We're going to be in the thousands. This is going to be the biggest summit yet that we've hosted. Um, you have your ticket and you have a hope, but you don't yet know how transformative this weekend is going to be for you. You don't yet know how you're going to look back on October 6th through 9th as the shift. The beginning of the beginning, right? You don't know yet. You don't know. You have a hope, you have a ticket. But we know because we've been through this before. This is our fourth year hosting this summit. It's our fourth year bringing in speakers to get women to that place. We know. We don't know who, but we know what. We know what's going to happen. So we're so glad. We're so glad. All right. Okay, so slow down was number one. Okay, Latanya, thank you for putting your name here. Because, girl, I've been calling you the senior insurance advisor for, well, I don't know, a couple years probably, at least a year now. So thank you for adding your name on here. Hi, Latanya. Okay, number two. So we talked about slow down and slow down in every way. Slow down in every way, right? So slow down. Don't rush back to work. Slow down. Don't explain yourself, right? Slow down. Move through your day slowly with intention. Stop doing the things you don't want to do and do more of the things you do want to do in your day. Slow down, okay? We're only on number two, okay, but we're going to move. We're going to move it along. Number two tip for Black women to live a luxurious lifestyle on a career break is follow your pleasure. Find your thing, dive into it. This is going to require you to take away some of the stuff that you don't want to do. Number one, job, but other things too. Take away some of the other things. Create time and space in your life to dive into things that bring you pleasure. I love vanilla extract. Some of you know this about me. I love it. I love it. I enjoy it. And I love using it liberally in my coffee, in my pancake mix, my waffles, my French toast, my oatmeal. I love vanilla extract. It brings me pleasure. I dive into it. I talk about it so much that when I go places, people give me vanilla extract. Okay. Thank you, Amelia, for the vanilla extract from Trinidad. I love it. Cheers to us. Okay. Dive into the things that bring you pleasure, big and small. It can be as small as vanilla extract, right? It can be as big as starting a new craft. You now crochet. To me, that's big. You now paint. You now are a photographer. Dive into those things that bring you pleasure. I think that weather is a wonderful way to give yourself a more luxurious lifestyle. I happen to think that there's a certain temperature that is very luxurious. Okay. I feel like 78 to 88, that's a luxury temperature. I like to keep myself in locations between 78 and 88 degrees at all times. Okay. I don't like to be a whole lot warmer because, as you can see, once I start sweating, I don't stop sweating. I don't like to be a whole lot colder because I want to be able to get in the pool, get in the water, right? 80, 80, 82, 82 on up, I can get in the water. So dive into whatever those things are that bring you pleasure. For some of you, that might be skiing in snow, right? Your weather, your luxurious temperature. Your luxurious temperature might be cold with snow on the ground. So you can ski or surf. What is it called? I was going to say surfboard. Ski or whatever the board is, snowboard, right? Dive into them. Hey, Erica, right? You, yes, okay, so dive into them. Um, Anybody want to talk about something that they've dove into recently for pleasure purposes? I hunted down a nice cashmere robe from Nordstrom. Finally, got myself a nice cashmere robe. I wanted it the whole time I was in Costa Rica last year. That was this year. No, it's hard to remember. I think I left in March. So last year and this year. I couldn't find one. Costa Rica, it's good. The temperature, San Jose, Costa Rica is high altitude. It's not the same as the beaches, right? High altitude. So it's cool. Rains a lot. Rainy season is rainy season. Like last year's rainy season was wiped out. Like it's just a wash with rainy season. I'm like, this is cashmere robe temperature. This is cashmere robe weather. But I couldn't get one. And then to have Nordstrom ship it to Costa Rica was crazy expensive. There's a company that will you can ship your US store purchases to Miami and then they'll bring it over. But I didn't want to do all that. So I waited till I got here. But I have it now and I'm going to take it with me, right? Diving into things that give you pleasure on the inside, on the outside, all around, all over. I hunted that thing down for weeks and weeks, and I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. I want it. I want it. John Cat says her temperature 65 to 80. All right, get yourself there and keep yourself there as long as you want. Yeah, snowboarding. Thank you. All right. Oh, Simi says her pleasure is one of her pleasures. Preparing and drinking matcha latte without doing anything else is my luxury. I love it. I love it. Yes, right? Black travel and culture. Sometimes we sleep on the small things. For me, I love my 15-minute foot massages. Yeah, those small things make, give you moments throughout your day where of pleasure, of joy, of peace, of rest, of whatever it is that you want, right? Those small things throughout the day. We think sometimes that things have to be like these huge gestures, these grand things. But I'm a fan of little small things throughout the day. It's why the houseplant women love them some houseplants. Every little plant that you pass gives you a little hit, a little endorphin hit, a little hit of pleasure, a little hit of joy, a little smile, a little laughter, right? Small things give big results. Can take, because the small things can take a day from ugh to oh, what an amazing day. And you stack amazing day after amazing day. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. A few minutes in somebody's pool or hot tub, coffee with vanilla extract, time to not do anything, right? That's an amazing day for me. And I get to stack them one after the other. House sitting helps, but even without house sitting, I get to stack them one after the other. Amazing days stacked together make an amazing life. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Herman Dow is in, I believe in Kenya right now at a tea factory trying to pay attention. I think you're supposed to pay attention to the tea demonstration that they're giving you. I think. But hello, Ms. Dow. I'm glad you made it safely. And I hope you enjoy your time in East Africa. I saw your the picture of the view from your window. She had I was it elephants. So when I say I saw, I mean I remember seeing it, but I can't remember what I saw. I think I saw some elephants out of your window. I hope you're having a wonderful time. High Vibe says the cashmere robe sounds nice on a cold day. Yes, I recommend it. I recommend it. Now I'm going to Costa Rica, and I'm going to Costa Rica soon. I'll be there for 3 or 4 years. So I had to look up like dry cleaners. Is dry cleaning a thing, right? Am I going to, what's going to happen, right? It's going to require a little extra effort. Having, living my life, I envision myself living my entire life in that cashmere robe in Costa Rica. Sometimes it's going to go outside with me. To me, it looks like the kind of thing that I could wear outside and people will think it's just a really long sweater. I'm going to live my life in that cashmere robe. I did have to Google Where how many dry cleaners with good reviews are there in San Jose? I did that. Okay. And then I made my purchase. Nicole Jinks. I used to love sewing. I used to make a lot of my own clothing. It made me so happy. I need to get back into it. Get back into it. Get back into it. All right. Janae says her skincare routine is a thing that she does because it brings her pleasure in the day. Good. All right. Waking up alarm free. Adelia talked about this in the interview on her YouTube channel. Let me go ahead and drop her link. Adelia talked about that. Um, Being able to wake up without an alarm, that's living. Being able to live your day with no alarm dictating what you do when you get up, copy. That's living. That's freedom, right? That is time freedom. How did I do with this? Okay. All right, I put the title after the link, but you understand what I'm saying. Our finding our freedom. No, let me. That's not going to work. Let me do that again because I didn't put a space. Share, copy. I'll put this in the description of this video if you're watching the replay. Space. Okay, I did it. The interview was on finding our freedom. It was a podcast episode on Adelia's podcast. It's also on YouTube. And we talked about going from jobs to job location, financial, and time freedom. The three of us. It was wonderful. It was a real fun chat, real fun conversation. We got to talk about things from a little bit of a different perspective. Usually when we get together, we talk about moving abroad very specifically. But for this interview, we got to talk about like our past lives with jobs and how they look different today. Valerie Hopkins, crocheting brings me pleasure. Really need to get back into it. Get back into it. Adelia does. Adelia is Picky Girl Travels the World, and she does like create with me sessions. I think her page. I'm not sure if it's her Patreon community or what, but she does a co-creating session where they sit. She sews and does something else. I know she sews. And so she carves out time in the week where y'all get together and y'all work on your projects together, your craft projects together. Okay. Busy Diva Views, I'm learning to do nothing, just do nothing without feeling like I should be doing something in that time frame. It's a lot of unlearning. It takes time. It's hard, right? You even have busy in your YouTube name, right? It takes time, it takes effort. You need to make sure that you're surrounded by people who can show you the way to doing nothing. Community is really helpful when you're trying to make a change, when you're trying to change something in your life. Having community with people who are on the same path, maybe right beside you, maybe a few steps ahead of you, maybe a few steps behind you, is really, really helpful. Okay, that community could very well be the Exodus Summit community. If you're not a part of Exodus Summit already, join the Exodus Summit Facebook group. It's exodussummit.com/community. And the women in that community are the same women who are in this chat today, who are uh, deciding our own things. Okay, thanks, Adelia. So the creative co-working is on her Buy Me a Coffee page. Okay, so we should go to her YouTube channel, Picky Girl Travels the World, and then go to the About section to find the Buy Me a Coffee link. I'm going to think that's probably right, unless she says otherwise. Tracy, I love to buy myself flowers. Me too, girl. Me too. Where do you buy them? Do you get them from a florist? I just go to the grocery store. I just get grocery store flowers. But the last Airbnb that I stayed in Costa Rica, there was a cemetery on the next block. And so there was a florist right beside my building, the building that I stayed in, not even, maybe two doors down. I don't think it was the next door, but two doors down, there was a florist. I went in there, that woman made me the most beautiful bouquet of flowers. I'm pretty sure it was $10 or $15, including the tip. I mean, she did make the flowers as if they were going to be for a funeral arrangement. They were one side of the back was, all of the beauty was in the front. even though I told her they were for me and not for the gravestone. She tried, but she was used to making flowers that are only, beautiful from the front. So I did a little remixing. But she made me a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I'm pretty sure it was $10 or $12, including the nice tip that I gave her for making them for me right there on the spot. I love flowers. My mom does too. My mom does the same thing. Okay, so we've said number one was slow down. Number two, follow your pleasure, whatever it is, big or small. It could be as big as travel, it could be as small as vanilla extract. Number three, build quality relationships. So we just talked about community. The Exodus Summit Facebook community is a good place to start. Okay? If you want to hang out with Black women who are into what you're into, the Exodus Summit community is a good place to start. If you're here today enjoying this conversation, you will love being a member of the Exodus Summit community at facebook.com/groups/Exodus Summit. But the easiest link is really exodussummit.com/community. exodussummit.com/community. We're there. We're out here living. There are meetups scheduled for a couple of end of summer meetups scheduled, and there'll be some fall meetups once people, you know how the fall is. Everybody's back to school, back to work in some way. Not everybody's back to work, but some people are back to work, and so there'll be some fall meetups probably starting to pop up soon. We have a huge meetup, which I think should have a different name. It shouldn't be called a meetup, but we have a huge thing happening in Cape Town, South Africa, February 16th through 20 of 2024. February 16th through 20th, 2024, the Exodus Summit gang is getting together in Cape Town. It's going to be wonderful. We got together in Cancun 2 years ago. No, a year ago, I guess. Cancun a year ago. And then we got together in Marrakesh, Morocco just this April past. Had a wonderful time, and we're doing it again. We're doing it in South Africa in February of 2024. We have less than 40 tickets available. I'm going to go with 35, but it's around 35 tickets still left to the Cape Town meetup. If you're in the Exodus Summit Facebook community, or if you're getting the Exodus Summit newsletter, then you have the link to get your ticket. Okay? We're excited. It's going to be a wonderful time. What we see every year, speaking of Amelia, right? So I've told you several times, Amelia gave me the vanilla extract that I'm drinking today from Trinidad. What we get to see every year is we get to see women show up, not knowing people. I don't know anybody here, and leave with a gang, leave with a crew, leave with a tribe, a squad, a sisterhood of friends, right? Leave with community. Some of them don't even leave. They just stay and travel around. Amelia, the first year in Cancun, she traveled around Mexico for I don't know how long. And some of the women stuck right with her for a while. I think Amelia traveled so long that they had to leave, right? But a couple of women, I think, traveled with Amelia for a little while and didn't know her until we got to Cancun. There is something to be said for meeting people face to face. There's a difference, right? There's you can see if you have a bond, you can see if you vibe, you can see if you get along. And it's really a good way to start to build some quality relationships. We've seen women in the Exodus Summit group just raise their hand and say, hey, I'm in this city. Anybody want to meet up? And the response is, yes, I'm coming, right? I'll be there. I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm coming. Let's do it. Danica did the meetup in Nashville, Tennessee. And Alicia, I almost said her full name. I can't know your whole name. I will say your government name. But Alicia was at that meetup. And then they were both at was it somewhere in Florida meetup not too long ago? I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all just traveling the country, going from meetup to meetup together. How are y'all both in two meetups in two different states together? I don't know, but that's called meeting up the first time and then forming a relationship. Build quality relationships. Quality relationships are a luxury, right? I used to have friendships that were happy hour friends. When I had a job, especially when I worked for a bank and our job was to lower people's credit lines over the phone. Our job was It was the company, the bank treated us. I made good money and got good benefits and good perks, right? But the job itself, the customers on the phone, not nice. Okay, not nice. And we did a lot of happy houring together. I would call them friends. I would call them friends. I had friends from work, but I wouldn't call them quality relationships because we spent most of our time talking about work, right? Talking about and drinking, talking about work and getting hammered drunk so that we could make it through until the next day, right? But I wouldn't call them quality relationships. Um, we didn't know each other, right? They didn't really know me. They knew work Stephanie, but they didn't know me. So Bill, and a lot of you, it's probably the same. A lot of our relationships are work relation. A lot of our friends are friends from work, because that's where we spend a lot of our time. And it's nice to have work friends because y'all can skip out on work together, or like y'all can sneak away together for 15 minutes or longer, right? But the quality relationships have to be sought after. You can find work friends easy, right? I think I I've always worked in an environment where there were decent people. Maybe you might work in environments where they're not nice people. I could see that. I could see some sectors being not nice. But for most of us, we can find work friends, but do we have quality relationships? If not, that is a I don't know if you can say you have a luxury lifestyle. Sorry to tell you, okay? But you can build it. You can build quality relationships and then get yourself to a luxury lifestyle. One thing that quality friendships can do, especially among Black women who love to travel and take career breaks and sabbaticals and move abroad, you may very well find your own little Golden Girl gang. Y'all may very well travel the world together or rent a house together and live there and share expenses. My dream. My dream. Okay. That could very well happen and help you live a little even luxuriouser lifestyle because you're sharing the load. You're sharing the load. I recommend it. I don't know if we have anybody in Exodus Summit yet who is doing that with someone she didn't know until she got to Exodus Summit. But it's coming. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. We do have quite a few women who have made the effort to move in with someone, a sister, a relative, a friend, to share the load so that you can live better with fewer expenses. I love that for them. And I think we'll continue to see it. We'll continue to see that happen. Okay, how are we doing? Halisi. Halisi is our Black Utopia in Portugal. Yesterday, we were talking to some new friends of ours here in Lisbon about how much easier it is to find quality friends here, like minded. Yes. Yes. I think that there is some commonality because we're still new in the move abroad movement, in this phase of the move abroad movement. There are some commonalities that you'll find among people who have moved abroad or Black people who have or are moving abroad. That means that you're going to get along a little better. And I think that you have the time and you're rested and you just get to be a nicer person when you're living out your dream, right? When you're living out your dream, you get to show up as a better person and a better friend, and so do they. It really is hard to make friendships as an adult in the US when you're working and stressed out and strapped for cash and struggling in your family doing two or three people's worth of work in your household, right? How do you have time and the mental bandwidth to build quality friendships? I don't know if you do. But if you can remove yourself from that environment and put yourself in a different environment where you get to slow down, right? Where you get to dive into those things that give you pleasure, you can, it is easier. It is easier to build quality friendships. Absolutely. I don't question that at all. I don't question that at all. Yvette, I want the Golden Girl gang too. It's Listen, it's coming. Okay, we're just one more summit away. It won't be long until we'll hear that. We do have women, like I said, who are living with a friend or a sister or friends, plural. but we'll have a house sharing Golden Girl situation soon. I think, right? It just makes so much sense. I've been looking online at houses at rentals in Costa Rica, and some of them are so big. I'm like, I got room for two, three. Let me listen. It's gonna be me and some kids, okay? I got room for me, a kid, and somebody else and her kid, right? If I rented this house, we could raise our kids in this house together. Like, I don't want to do it all by myself. It's coming. It's happening. It's going to happen for some women in the community. Yes, more space for friendships, more space for joy. Hi, Susan. Yes, right. So we will add that to the list of luxury tips. Okay, so our luxury tips for living a luxury lifestyle for Black women on a career break. Slow down, follow your pleasure, build quality relationships. Number four, spend time in nature. I think this is self explanatory. I think nature is healing. We all agree. Anybody disagree on that? Nobody. Okay. Nature is healing. It's also it's been treated as a luxury in the United States. There was a time, I think, when people actively pushed or kept Black and brown people out of open spaces, out of nature, right? There's an active movement to keep us out. And so movements have formed to get us back in there, right? The outdoor Afro gang. There's some others, right, whose purpose is to reconnect, help Black people reconnect with nature. That's a luxury. It's a luxury. I don't have much to say about that. I think, right? I don't know. We'll move on. So, spend time in nature was number four. Number five, spend time in luxury. Okay, so yes, I did say that by luxury, I don't mean designer goods, okay, or luxury this and that, but it can include that. It can include a luxury hotel. A certain person in this chat stayed at a luxury hotel the other day, right? It can include that. Give yourself those things. If someone else has it, or you gets it, you deserve it too. No one is more deserving than you of the luxury experience, whatever that looks like. Get yourself in a luxury space sometime. Enjoy it. I'm thinking, like, so in my mind, what came to mind for me was luxury hotels, luxury hotels, right? In London, we went to high tea. We went to afternoon tea the place where they were like, "This is where you have afternoon tea." We went to afternoon tea at the place. Do luxury, okay? The woman came. She served our champagne, which was good champagne. You know how I drink cheap stuff. Okay, we've all seen me go to the grocery store and come home with little mini bottles of prosecco. I don't mind the cheap stuff, okay, but I did recognize that that was some good champagne to me. I can't tell you if it was more expensive, but I can tell you it was more good. I buy wine in a box. Okay? I drink Cabernet Sauvignon from a box. I don't know the difference. Okay? I don't know the difference. But that champagne, we could taste the difference. We went to a tea in London, right? We stayed in Morocco. We stayed in a Riyadh, we took over a Riyadh, we rented a whole Riyadh, stayed in a beautiful Riyadh with a housekeeper, with a woman who came in the morning, made our breakfast, called our tour guide to get us, called transportation for us, right? Took care of everything for us. Treat yourself, spend some time in luxury. I know it seems like I'm always telling you to spend more money, but I think the Black women that I get to spend time with and the Black women that I coach, right? I think y'all can come up off some more change for a little more joy, a little more peace, a little more time. I am an advocate of spending your money and saving your time, and I always will be. I think for into perpetuity, okay? I know that's not always the message, and right, but I am a spend your money and save your time kind of girl. And if a luxury hotel experience sounds amazing to you, or a luxury, having your own housekeeper come and take care of you while you're on vacation, I say do it. In Cape Town, some women are looking at the train from Cape Town to Pretoria. There's a luxury 3-day train where you get your little suite, you get service, you go eat in the fancy dining car, right? There's a luxury train from Cape Town to Pretoria, 3 days. Spend some time in luxury. Do it. If your concern is, oh, but that's not for me, that's the reason to do it. Now, if your concern is, I don't want it, I'm not interested in it, okay, good. Then you know that you're not interested in it. But if you're blocking it off from yourself because you feel like it's not you, it's not something you're deserving of, that's a reason to do it. Nobody is more deserving than anybody else. So do it, right? Right? Yes, the classy hacker luxury train. Yes, please. Right? Halana, I think. Hi, Halana. I don't remember where you're moving to. I don't even remember if you've told us where you're moving to. But do you know that we're going to meet up in Cape Town in February? And are you coming? Okay. So Halana, I think you've moved, or you're about to move any day now from Rwanda. But I don't remember if you've told us where you're going. So I don't know if you're going to be in or around South Africa in February, but we're going to be there, and I hope you'll be there. Okay. Yes, right. Do the things that you want to do. Do them instead of holding them out as like, I would, if I could, I would, right? If I was a different type of person, I would do this. You can be that type of person, at least for those few days, right? For those few days, be that type of person. There is a meetup, Elena. There's a group going to Zanzibar, I think before Cape Town. Do you have, serious question, Elena. Do you have a ticket to Cape Town? Are you in the Facebook group? Because there is a Abba and them. I don't know if I was supposed to say that out loud. Y'all, okay? Somebody, a person is going to Zanzibar. I'm pretty sure it's before Cape Town. And so there will be a gang of them there meeting up in Zanzibar, I believe sometime in early February. So, yes, the answer is yes, but I'm not going to be there. I have a different route. I'm taking a different route to Cape Town. I think right now, Zanzibar is one of the places, Zanzibar and Fiji are two of the places that I really want to visit before these kids come. Okay, because I don't want to pay to take kids to Fiji or Zanzibar. I want to pay for myself to go, but a kid is not going to appreciate Fiji any more than like the local beach in Costa Rica. So I would love to get them out of the way. So I'm saying all that to say Zanzibar, I don't see Zanzibar happening with y'all, but it might. Anything can happen. It's so South Africa and East Africa. South is not like an inexpensive bop. It's not like going from London to Budapest, right? They're across the continent. They're across Europe from each other, but they're cheaper than that trip from South Africa up to Zanzibar or back. So I'm probably not going to do them, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I got off track. Okay, luxury. Put yourself in luxury places. That is one of my keys, one of my tips for having a luxury career break. I did a thing recently for the first time in Joshua Tree. Katrina and I got a day pass to at least one hotel, maybe two. We got a day pass to a place. So you can use the hotel pool and the restaurant and the whatever, spa sometimes on a day pass without paying to stay in that hotel. So you can put yourself in luxury places for dollars instead of thousands of dollars. For 5 nights in a luxury hotel is going to cost you a grip, right? A day pass, 5 hours at a luxury hotel, might cost you $50, right? I didn't know about this. I think Rashida I don't remember who told me. I think Rashida told me about the day pass thing, and then I found the site called Resort Pass. Resort Pass, for a lot of hotels, a lot of luxury hotels, you can spend a few dollars, $50, and be have access to that place for the day. So put yourself in luxury places. You know, the other way that I do that is house sitting, right? House sitting has put me in many a luxury home with a pool and sometimes a housekeeper, right? Sometimes I still have a housekeeper when I house sit because you don't fire your housekeeper just because you're going on vacation. So sometimes the housekeeper still comes. Put yourself in luxury spaces. My new house sitter toolkit is housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I'll in that new house sitter toolkit, I give you the link to Trusted House Sitters, the platform I use to house sit. I also give you the actual pitch email, the actual letter that I send to get booked to house sit. You're gonna have to change it to get yourself to make sure that the letter sounds like you. You're gonna have to change the letter, but it's a template. It tells you what to say, right? And then you're gonna change some words and change some stuff in there so it sounds like it's from you. There's the Cape Town Facebook page will probably open up today. No, I just meant the regular Facebook group. Hi, Diamond. The regular Facebook group is where people have already been talking about what they're going to do. But I think we'll probably just open the Cape Town Facebook page today. It's available. It's there. So I'll send out. Francis asked me when, and I forgot to ask Rashida when. But I don't see any reason Rashida would want to hold off. So we'll open that today. I think she's doing her coaching from For Burnout to Bliss. I think this is there For Burnout to Bliss. So she's not here in the chat today. But we'll probably open it up today and send an email with that link if you've already got your Cape Town ticket. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, Resort Pass. So I did it then. I feel like I did it. Oh, I was supposed to do it on my birthday weekend, but I got so sick. I stayed in a hotel that was on Resort Pass. Like I stayed in a hotel where people get a Resort Pass to come because it's so cute. It was so pretty, but I was so sick that I didn't do that. I was at a hotel that's on Resort Pass, but I was supposed to go to another hotel and enjoy another Palm Springs hotel. But I was so sick. No, I did do it. One day I had a house sit end and my Airbnb wouldn't let me check in till 3. And so I went to a golf resort in Palm Desert. I did it. I did the day pass twice in the Palm Springs area. I did it twice. Yeah, Resort Pass. I looked for one in Delaware because we have the beaches here don't have big hotels like that. You have to go down to Ocean City to find a beach with a hotel. So I didn't find one. I don't know was that a full sentence? I thought about going to a resort while I was here. Me and my mom could go. But I looked and there's nothing in Delaware. We have Rehoboth Beach and Dewey Beach and Bethany Beach, but there's no big hotel that would be on Resort Pass. So none of them were there. And I didn't feel like going all the way down to Ocean City. Oh, styled by Chrissy. Today is my birthday, and I'm on a house sit. I love traveling this way, visiting family. Happy birthday, Chrissy. Happy birthday, and I'm so glad that you love house sitting. So glad. And that it's given you a way to have a nice birthday with your family while still being in your own space. Enjoy. Enjoy. Okay, so Adrian says I'll look into the Facebook page opening today. Okay, so we'll send out an email once we're done. I'll send out an email with the link to the Facebook group so that you can get in. If you already have your ticket to Cape Town, you'll get an email. Probably today. Don't get upset if time gets away from me, but probably this afternoon once we're finished. Okay? All right. Tips for living luxuriously on a career break for Black women. Slow down, follow your pleasure, build quality relationships, spend time in nature, spend time in luxury. Attend a luxury event. I put this separately from spend time in luxury, but you could group them together. But attend a luxury event. Attend an event that just is going to make you feel like this is a luxury event. I probably could tell you the tea time, going to high tea in London. That was a luxury event. But something. So a lot of people love, I don't know if dinner en blanc qualifies as luxury. I'm gonna tell you, because you have to bring all your own stuff. But some people treat that as a luxury event. Eve loves dinner en blanc. And my cousin Kim, hey Kim, right? They love it. If you say it's luxury, it's luxury, okay? I'm going to say I'm not bringing my own stuff to a luxury event, okay? But it's luxury to you, that's what counts. Do luxury stuff. Go to luxury events. Adelia tagged me in a post where a woman was giving you instructions on how to meet rich men, and she talked about yacht shows, a specific yacht show every year, a specific car thing, like a Monaco race thing every year, right? Do luxury stuff, right? If you want to have a luxurious career break, right? This is different from the way that I did my career break. My career break was bargain basement. But if you want to do a luxury career break, go to luxury events. Okay? Okay. Hey, Crystal. Hi, Crystal B. All right. Yeah, do luxury events. Halisi's going to a house sit in Spain. They leave on Tuesday. Good. Oh, that's nice. All right. I'm just looking in the chat. That might have been where I went. Jess says JW Marriott in Palm Desert was my annual favorite. I think that might be where I went. I, I honestly don't remember where I went. I don't know why I can't remember it. I know it was in Palm Desert, and I did really enjoy the JW in Cancun, and so I always look for a JW. I think that's where I was. I don't want to take the time to pull up the app, but yeah, right. Do stuff. Do luxury stuff. Anybody have a favorite luxury event? Dee likes boat stuff. I don't know if she's here. I think she's in Rashida's community, so she may not be here. They're doing group coaching today. I think I'm very confused about what day of the month this is, but I think that's where they are. But she likes to do boat stuff, uh, yacht stuff, right? Go to luxury events. Hyacinth, I'm too old for bargain basement. I've been hustling for too long. We don't listen. However, right? Do it however you want to do it. We don't have to stick to budget travel, right? I started this channel when I had to travel on a budget. And some people were a little confused when I stopped focusing only on budget travel. I still do budget travel. House sitting is still a budget travel thing. And I stayed in a hostel not too long ago. Since the COVID, I've stayed in a hostel. Since, you know. So I still do budget travel things, but I'm not in the budget travel box. No, indeed. When I want some luxury, I want some luxury. Okay. And so should you. When you want it, you should do it. Okay? Yeah. Arlettis is no cheap seats for me. I'm going to college sports. I'm not sitting all up. I'm not gonna have to watch the whole thing on the on the sign. I want to be able to see what's happening in the field on the field. Yeah. It got me. Last week, I went to a concert in Spain with beautiful seats. A concert abroad felt luxurious. Good. Good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. We got to live our lives. We got to live our lives. I'm going to see Beyonce in Houston. I can't wait. That's, to me, that is luxurious. Okay. I'm staying in a nice hotel, flying on taking a nice flight. That's a luxurious thing for me. Janae, the luxury vagabond, says museum member events. I go to polo games every season, symphony, Formula One races. Get it in. Get it in. Attend luxury events. Find something that will appeal to you, something that you'll be interested in, and go do them. Do them. Okay. It's not just for other people. It's for you. It's for you. The people who are going are no more deserving than you. All right. And then the final tip that I have is to give. As a person who once had no money to give to people, it feels very luxurious for me to have something to give. It feels very luxurious, right? I need to stop smiling for this section. The uh, Hawaii Barack Obama listed on his website, on obama.org, they listed some reputable places to donate, to give money to Hawaii. And it felt so good to have some money to give. right? It feels very luxurious. It feels so luxurious. Now, Maisha Francis just had a birthday, I think yesterday. Happy birthday, Maisha Francis. And she posted on Instagram. I couldn't finish reading it. I didn't want to start crying. So I haven't finished, but I think that's what she was. It was her birthday on Instagram. And she thanked us, this community, for giving her $25,000 so that she could continue her career break in Rwanda. It feels very luxurious to give. So I put this on the list. For some of you, it's like it doesn't. It feels like every day. But to me, it feels very luxurious to have it to give because there was a significant amount of my adult life when I didn't have it. I don't have it. I don't have any money to give to anything. Right? Maybe you know, I, $2. Right? Maybe $2. It feels really nice to now have it to give. So that was number 7 on my tips for a luxurious career break for Black women. We don't have to do things on a budget. We don't have to put ourselves in the budget travel box. We can do things in a more luxurious way. But remember that luxurious here is not only expensive, right? We're talking about the luxury of time freedom. We're talking about the luxury of location freedom. Those things give you the luxury of, those things are the real luxury, I'll say, right? That location freedom and time freedom and financial freedom, they're the real luxury. And then you can spend your time doing whatever you want. So that was my list of 7. Slow down. Don't rush. Don't rush. Don't rush back to work. Don't rush to explain yourself. Don't rush through your day. Don't rush, period. Number 2, follow your pleasure. As small as using a whole lot of vanilla extract in your coffee, as big as traveling the entire world. Follow your pleasure. You have to know what you want to do what you want. And so the free time of a career break or sabbatical can help uncover things that you really want to do, as opposed to things that other people say you should do. But follow your pleasure. If right now you don't know what things would bring you pleasure, that's why you need the career break. It's why you need free time. Number 3, build quality relationships. Build quality relationships. If you are overworked and overwhelmed, if you're stressed out, if you're living your life in fight or flight mode, you probably don't have the time to nurture quality relationships. And so you're probably seeing relationships that are not serving you very well. But the slowing down and the following your pleasure can lead you to the quality relationships, the quality friendships that you want in your life. Number 4, spend time in nature. Pretty self-explanatory. Nature is healing, and we belong in nature. In the United States, we have been attempted to be shut out of accessing the healing of nature. And so it can be an act of defiance and rebellion and resistance if you want it to be. Or it can just be a regular Tuesday. Spending time in nature. Number 5, spend time in luxury, whatever that means to you. A luxury train from Cape Town to Pretoria, high tea in London, the hotel lobby of the whatever, the Sofitel. I like Sofitel in Philadelphia. I like the Sofitel, right? Go to the Sofitel and spend time there in the lobby and eat lunch at the restaurant or whatever, right? Spend time in luxury. Number 6, separately attend luxury events. I put them as separate, but they overlap. And number 7, give. To me, being able to give is such a wonderful luxury. I love that about my life today. Okay, how did we do? How did we do today? Yes. Amber Gilbert says these tips from everyone are awesome. Yeah, what an awesome community. What an awesome chat, an awesome place to be. This is a lot of the women in this community are a member of the Exodus Summit community. Exodus Summit is a virtual conference that's happening October 6th through 9, 2023. It's all online. And the theme of Exodus Summit 2023 is location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom for Black women. Location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom for Black women. We're bringing in speakers to help give you the tools to get there. We have speakers who are doing really specific talks that are going to be like workshops, like here's how you do this thing, take notes. We have speakers who are coming in to do keynote speak talks that are more bigger picture. Why is this important, right? So Tabitha Brown is a speaker at Exodus Summit 2023 this year. Did you know that? Very exciting. It's not exciting because she's Tabitha Brown, right? It's exciting because she is a woman who has undergone a major transformation in her life because she had a clear vision for her life, right? Which is all we want for you. All we want for you is to get a clear vision for your life and then live it, get it. And so Tabitha Brown is coming to speak as a keynote speaker at Exodus Summit 2023. Um, Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, who is the founder of Therapy for Black Girls, which you probably know, is coming to speak at the summit. Her new book is called Sisterhood Heals. We've talked already at length about the importance of community, about the importance of you getting yourself in community and building the friendships that will help you thrive, right? The friendships that will sustain you. She's coming in to talk to us at Exodus Summit 2023, Dr. Joy. Octavia Rahim, who is the author of Pause, Rest, Be, is speaking at Exodus Summit 2023. She's not, I shouldn't say she's speaking at, she's coming to Exodus Summit to rest us. She's coming to Exodus Summit to guide us through a rest workshop. She's doing one during the summit, and then a month later, she's coming back for everyone with the all access pass to do another one because she wants you to build a rest practice. We understand a spiritual practice. We know what that means. We understand practice when you're talking about a sport. But as more important, you need a rest practice. What is your rest practice? As Black women, this is not only critical to our physical well-being, but it is a healer, right? It is a healing practice. Black women in this country have generational, ancestral rest issues, right? And so we're not only we're talking about rest for you, for your body, rest for your mind, also rest to heal the generational trauma that we have with rest, because we have generational trauma with rest. That's why it's so hard for you to do nothing, especially when you know people are going to see you do nothing. It's really hard. All right. And so Octavia Rahim, author of Pause, Rest, Be, is coming to guide us to creating our rest practices. We're really excited about Exodus Summit 2023. So I hope you have your ticket at exodussummit.com. Okay. And we'll be talking about some more, like, not specific, but some more detail oriented. We'll have some more detail oriented sessions too. Of course, I'll be talking about house sitting. Of course, Rashida will be talking about career breaks. We'll have some more detailed sessions too. We have some more speakers that we probably could announce, but I just shouldn't do it by myself. So we'll wait. And Rashida and I will announce some more speakers, probably inside the Exodus Summit community and YouTube channel very soon. We have some more speakers that we can announce, but I probably shouldn't do it without her. But and on the other hand, she might do it tomorrow on her YouTube channel. Rashida usually goes live Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern on her channel, which is Rashida Dow. So she might announce some new speakers there. Okay. All right. I'm just looking through the chat to see if there's anything I need to say. We moved through this pretty quickly. Okay, Adrienne Paul says she's looking for her tribe in the Atlanta area. The Exodus Summit Community Atlanta group is big, and they get together. They've had at least 3 different get-togethers, hosted by different people. Charisma hosted something. Was it Teresa? Teresa, are you here? Was it Teresa who hosted the very first one? So they do get together. If you're in the Exodus Summit community, the Atlanta Exodus Squad is active, okay? And they're out here living, out here meeting and doing and getting together. And I know they've had at least 3 since February. The first time that like different cities did a bunch of meetups, like in I don't know, not in conjunction, but the first time we had like an explosion of meetups around the US and Europe and Mexico. I'm gonna say around the world. The first time we had an explosion of meetups around the world was just February. Since February, I know Atlanta's had at least three. Mm. Okay, so we're talking about airport lounges and cards. My newest favorite luxury: flying business class, getting in the airport lounge. My newest favoritist, my favoritist luxury. I recommend it. I recommend it. Oh, Janelle is registered for the summit. So Janelle told us that during Exodus Summit weekend, she had to take her kid on a college tour, and Rashida was like, "No, get somebody else to do it." And Janelle listened. Oh, Janelle. Oh, that's lovely. Janelle is registered for Exodus Summit, and the dad is handling the college tour. That's wonderful. Let me take a screenshot. I'm gonna take a screenshot for real. Rashida's gonna be so proud of you. Oh, that's lovely. That's good. You can have that time for you, right? Exodus Summit is a time when you will want to be available. The summit is the 6th through the 9th. The 6th is the Friday evening. The Friday session is in the evening, right? So the first session is probably Octavia Rahim's session, and that's going to be Friday evening. And then the rest of the sessions start on Saturday morning. So you'll want to have all of that time free. You'll want to block it off, right? I talked about this last week. We went through 4 questions that changed my life. And one of the questions that I asked was, how can I do this? How can I travel with no money? And Google sent me to a blog post. I Googled, how can I travel with no money? Seriously. And Google sent me to a blog post from a woman who was a house sitter. And that changed my life. Learning about house sitting from that woman who was, I think, in her 30s at the time. She might have been in her 40s, 30s or 40s. And I was 42. Learning about house sitting from her in that blog post changed my life. I've house sat all over the world. I've not gone back to working a job because I've had that cushion or that buffer of not needing to pay for accommodation. Um, and I've helped countless other Black women do the same thing. Black women who are house sitting for fun, Black women who are house sitting out of necessity, right? And Black women who are house sitting to travel and live and see the world. Changed my life and changed other people's lives. If a blog post can change my life, what can a weekend at Exodus Summit do for you? Transformed. You can be transformed. I hope you'll be there. Take it seriously, because we take it very seriously, right? We're not bringing in Tabitha Brown, right? And Octavia Rahim and Rachel Cargill and Dr. Joy and Tisha Willis and Erica Totten and Krishan Wright and Teen Zekis and Libria Jones and some others who I can't announce yet. We're not bringing them in for nothing. Imagine how hard it is to do that. Look at the lineup that we've already announced. Imagine how hard that was to do. Okay? Then you'll understand. We mean business. We are about the business of you living your dreams, your life being transformed. So I hope that you will take that weekend as seriously as you can, which means create the time and space to take it in. Get yourself in the physical space and in the mental space to be able to take it in. Remember how I misinterpreted the comment earlier? Remember how I misinterpreted the comment about this is something, something. If you're feeling those things rise up in you, here's why this isn't possible for me. Here's why this is a bad idea. Here's why this is a mistake. Get yourself in a mind state where you can receive what these speakers are going to give you. Because what they're going to give you is the tools to location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. They're going to come in and give you the tools because they've done it for themselves. If you're feeling some feelings, we're going to do a video later on how to get the most out of the summit. But I'll say this: if you're feeling some feelings, you're feeling some resistance, like, sounds good, but I don't mean resistance to buying a ticket. I mean resistance to actually doing what you want to do. If you're feeling resistance towards doing what you want to do, you can get yourself in the mind state to receive it, because you don't want to buy your ticket, come to the sessions, take notes in the sessions, and then fold up your notebook and put it away, and then not do it. Because we're going to get some testimonials out of this summit. Okay? Every year, we get testimonials out of this summit. Every year, women are out. We get women out the door. And you don't want to be the one sitting there like, well, I could have. I wanted to. I just didn't do it. Right? Don't play yourself. Anita said, don't play yourself. Come to the summit with the space to receive, to take it in. Okay? It's an amazing thing that we do. Rashida's going to cry. It's that amazing. I cry all the time, so it's not a big deal that I cry. I'm a Cancer. It's not a big deal that I cry, but Rashida's going to cry. It is that big of a thing. Just like I'm preparing myself to go see Beyonce, right? I'm preparing myself for this tour. I got the outfit now. I'm not wearing silver. I'm wearing more of a gold. I hope she don't be mad at me. Beyonce. I bought, before she sent out that message saying, make sure you're wearing chrome, I had already bought my shoes and my bag and my sparkly blouse. It's sparkly, but it's kind of goldish, light gold. But I'm preparing myself for this. I'm preparing myself for this tour, right? Prepare yourself for Exodus Summit. So yes, get your ticket, but also do what you need to do to be able to take it in. Okay? Because it's amazing. It is a time and a place for you to get a new vision for your life and a plan to achieve that vision. And also community. The women that you're going to meet, community. We'll have some like sessions for you to get together, right? It's one thing for you to sit and talk to the speakers and be in the chat together, like today, right? We'll have a live chat for all the sessions, but we'll also have some sessions where you can get together, and get to know one another, form community with one another. The accountability groups every year that spring up out of the summit, get results. Get results. We did a summit in 2021 where we talked specifically about different locations, and an accountability group sprung out of that for Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And those women who stuck around in that accountability group and kept going to the meetings, they moved to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Now, Rashida and I are very hands-off leaders of the summit. We're not leaders of the community. The community is its own community. It leads itself. We are all the leaders of the community. But Rashida and I are the hosts of the summit. And once the summit's over, we were very hands-off with the accountability groups. So we didn't know what was happening. We show up in Cancun, like, oh, hey, we're in Cancun. And Rashida got there earlier than me and got invited to Playa del Carmen. Okay. Rashida shows up at a dinner or a lunch in Playa del Carmen. And everyone at the table, all of the Black women at the table, live in Playa del Carmen. Rashida thought she was going to meet up with some people who were visiting Playa because they were coming to Cancun to our 2022 meetup. They live there. She was like, what are y'all doing here? How did you all move to Playa del Carmen? They were like, Exodus Summit Accountability Group. What you thought? Right? I promise you, we didn't know. We didn't know. Okay. So when we talk about the transformation that comes out of Exodus Summit every year, we're talking from experience. So from that moment on, we were like, oh, well, what y'all other groups doing? Give us a report. Can y'all? Somebody somebody send us an email. Tell us what's happening, because we were shocked by the number. 12 women, was it 12 women? Had already moved to Playa del Carmen from coming to Exodus Summit, coming to the meetup. Coming to the, we had an accountability meetup during the summit that year. And then forming their group, getting together, meeting up every month online. They did it. They moved themselves there. living their dreams. Some of those women are still there. Some of those women are bopping around. Some of those women have come back to the US, right? But living their dreams in their way. Those women got to identify what they wanted for themselves and then live it out. Some women go back and forth between Playa. I think that's what, see, I'm about to say the full government name. Let me just stop. I think that is what one of the women is going back and forth. She's kind of like snowbirding in Playa del Carmen every year and then comes back to the US. Um, Sandra is in Asia now. Sandra is in Thailand or Bali now, right? Some of the women are on the other side of Mexico, West Coast Mexico, right? Just living, and still a squad, still a community, still a group, very, care, very much caring for each other. Okay, so I don't talk about Exodus Summit like it's amazing because I hope it will be amazing. I talk about Exodus Summit like it's amazing because it's amazing. It's been amazing. Okay, this is our fourth year. We know what's going to happen. I keep saying this. We know what's going to happen from the summit. We just don't know who it's going to happen for. Okay, who it's going to happen for is you. If you get your ticket, if you create a time and a space to take in these sessions, and you activate, you do it, right? You do. The speakers are coming in to tell you what to do, right? You got to do it. You got to activate, even though it's scary. It's scary for everyone. And doing something new is scary for everybody, right? Okay, do it. Do it. Okay. Hi, Lori. Lori Ebo. I'm in Guadalajara, Mexico, as a result of Exodus Summit. I hope you're enjoying Guadalajara. I love Guadalajara. It's not an exciting place as a person who likes to do as little as possible. I'm a fan of Guadalajara. I know I'm gonna eat good. I know the sun is not gonna burn me up. I know that I can get around, get to malls and get to some good sized malls and get the things that I need there. I'm a fan of Guadalajara. I can get a nice Airbnb at a reasonable price. I'm a fan of Guadalajara. Um, so I hope that you're enjoying it, and I hope that you're eating some of them sandwiches. Oh man, Guadalajara! You just walk out the door. There's a cart. He's selling the sandwich, which is called the it'll come to me after he's selling the sandwich. Listen, if you're selling the sandwich, I'm buying a sandwich, okay? Instead of so they of course they do tacos and they do even gorditas, which I didn't think were a real Mexican food, but either Taco Bell has influenced those carts or gorditas were real or always. But there's carts out there in Guadalajara. Just go out there, eat to your heart's content. I'm a fan of Guadalajara. Okay. Been there since December 2021. Oh, okay. So you know. So I don't have to. Okay, good. I'm glad that you love it. I'm glad. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we do every year to get more women to what they want for themselves. Okay. I would say out the door, but you may not want to be out the door. You may want a career break right where you are. But out the door, I like imagery. Out the door is my favorite imagery. We get you out the door, but whatever that door is, that door might just be out of the door of your job onto a career break, right? It might be out the door of your house and into house sitting. Okay, so Exodus Summit tickets are at exodussummit.com. The weekend pass price is still on early bird pricing. So if you feel like you should get a friends and family discount, you better get your ticket, okay? Because the early bird pricing goes away on September 7th. I think the No, I think the last day for early bird pricing is September 7th. The website has the right information. Now, early bird pricing for the all access pass has already ended. We only had 500 early access. We only had 500 all access passes at early bird pricing because we're sending out because we're sending out books. We're sending out books from our speakers. Everyone who has that pass can pick a book from one of our speakers. So we cut that off at 500 because sending things is not fun. To cut it off. Gorditas were always real. Okay. Okay. You know how Taco Bell is. It'll convince you that something is Mexican food when it's not Mexican food. So when I saw gorditas down there in Guadalajara, I was like, I think Taco Bell has influenced this man, but I was wrong. Okay. Yeah, Taco Bell, which I also love. I love Taco Bell and I love actual Mexican food. I love them both. Parla, Groove, Par, I'm putting your two things together. Paula, Groove Parlor TV Harris. Hi, I have a testimony. Exodus Summit 2022's Airbnb session changed your life. Wonderful. Exodus Summit 2022 is still moving mountains for people. Exodus Summit 2022's theme was Move Abroad Money. Very specific summit talking about very specific things, how to make the money to live your dreams. And we had a speaker, the Happy Host Academy, Pamela Holt. Thank you. Pamela Holt, creator of the Happy Host Academy, came in and talked about putting your own space on Airbnb, right? We're not talking about going out and renting some other place to put on Airbnb. We're talking about putting your own space on Airbnb. She did it, and I think she made a ridiculous amount of money just the first year doing it while she was on vacation, right? And she talked about how to do it in a way that is not weird, not like, oh, I don't want strangers in my house, right? How to make sure that you have the housekeeper and all of these things figured out and worked out, and your home can be back to the way you left it before you get there. It was a wonderful session, and I'm so glad to hear, Paula, that that changed your life. I'm so glad. Exodus Summit 2022 replays. If you had the all access pass last year, you still have the replays because it was a full year, right? So you're going up on the last few days. If you need to go back and rewatch a session from 2022, you need to go back and do that. If you did not get the all access pass last year, if you buy your ticket this year to Exodus Summit, there is an add-on. You can add on last year's summit because we had very specific money making sessions last year that were life changing. I'm so glad to hear it, Paula. I'm so glad. Teen Zika's session also was life changing for a lot of women. Teen Zikas is the founder of Getting Black Women Paid, and her session on getting pay increases, getting promotions, getting a new job that will elevate your income, elevate your life, was also a transformative session. Good news is she's coming back this year. Her session was so helpful that she's coming back this year. Same with Libria Jones on remote work. Libria Jones is the remote work queen, and she'll be back this year as well. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you very much for the updates. Listen, when we say things, when we talk about Exodus Summit in such glowing ways, it's because we know, we mean it. This is sincere. Okay? It's because we mean it. And we don't want you to be like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. Nobody told me nothing. Right? We want you to be in the know. Make sure that you know what's happening out here. Don't get left behind. Because one day you're going to look up and black women all going to have location freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom. And you're going to be sitting there like, wait, what? Ain't nobody tell me? We're telling you now. We're telling you now. Okay. All right. So I got to get out of here. Uh-huh. Yeah, social work expat. Exodus Summit 2022's replays opened my eyes to so many things. We had two different, no, we had one session on taking social work remote, right? Um, Her name is, there's too many names in my head. I'm losing them. Also, I'm 49 now. I don't know if you know that. But her name, Sojourner White. I believe her name is Sojourner. I believe her last name is White. Sojourner came in and did a session on taking social work remote, right? If you do a job that is traditionally done in person, face to face, and you need to figure out how to take it remote, her session is fantastic. You don't only have to be a social worker to get something from Sojourner's session from 2022. If you do a face to face thing and you need to figure out how to reframe your skills, reframe your experience into something remote, money. Her session is money. I I sat in her session taking notes and felt like I could get a job. Like I don't even want no job. I mean, right? So if you do something that's usually done in person and you're like, there's no way I can do this and have location freedom. Sojourner session on, I think it's called something about social work, taking social work remote. You'll see it. Her name is Sojourner. When you watch her session, she will help you reframe what you do. Your skill set and your experience will can lead you to remote work. even if your actual job title is not done remotely. That skill set and that experience, there's a remote job for you, right? There's remote work for you. So, Exodus Summit 2022 is still changing lives. Okay, so imagine what 2023 is going to do. Yes, reframing is so powerful. Yeah, that was the answer. She really did a wonderful job of teaching that. For someone like me who that should have been a session where I was like, I don't get it, right? But I got it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Elena, I love your live streams. They always fill my cup. Thank you. So glad you're here, Elena. Thank you kindly. Thank you all, friends. So Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, it's our time together. Oh, next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we might have a live studio audience. I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm going to interview some women from the community, from the Exodus Summit community, live in Chicago. And I think some women who are around from the Exodus Summit community will be there in the background. It's going to be a little different, so be patient. But next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, I'll be in Chicago, and I'm going for a conference. I'm going for Socialism 2023. Haymarket Books does a conference. So I'm going for Socialism 2023, but on Saturday, I'm going to skip out on the conference, which is very like me. Very much like me, and I'm going to do a live, still do the live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to do it live. So it's not my first time interviewing someone live. I interviewed Roshni face to face, Glamazini, and my mom, Rashida, probably when we were in. No, maybe did we do we? I don't know, when we were in Mexico together. Maybe Rashida and I went live together. So it's not my first time face to face, but it will be my first time, I think we'll have a little studio audience. I think we'll have a little audience in the background. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun time. I don't think I'm allowed yet. We have a couple who I don't think I'm allowed to announce yet. But Rashida might announce them tomorrow. If so, Rashida is the person who knows this thing. Rashida is the person who knows what the contracts say, which contracts are signed, and what they say. And so I defer to her on these things. She doesn't know anything about the website. She don't know. She don't know. I don't know anything about the contracts. And so some we have. I think that they're done and confirmed, but Rashida will be the one who knows. So she goes live Sundays at 11 Eastern time, usually on her channel, which is Rashida Dow. So we may be announcing them tomorrow. If not, one next week, probably, and on the Exodus Summit Facebook YouTube channel and in the Exodus Summit Facebook group. Okay, so I'm not trying to avoid the question. I just don't know. And contract things, most stuff I don't mind telling secrets, but contract stuff you can't be you can't be breaking contracts. Y'all not gonna have Rashida mad at me, but soon we'll be announcing them. Women who you may already know. Okay, I'll say that. Some we have I should stop. A couple women who you may already know. A good percentage of you are already following them on Instagram, probably, if not more. Okay, all right. So I think that that is enough for today. How do we feel? How do we feel about talking about the tips for luxury living on a career break? Did we nail it? Again, these are my tips. You do what you want. You decide what luxury is for you. I mean, seriously, you decide for yourself what luxury and luxurious means, but embrace it. Embrace the pleasure of it. If your career break is you worrying, stressed out, and or being urgent, fast paced, isolated, you're probably not doing the right thing. It's probably not the right career break, right? So do it in a more luxurious way, okay? Do it in that way. Do the things that we talked about today so that you can enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. Time is not something to be rushed through. We should enjoy it. It moves so fast. It moves so fast. We should get enjoyment and pleasure. Okay, Tiffany Cherry said the tips are great. Okay, thanks for sharing. Okay, thanks, Tiffany. Then we'll close out on that. Again, thank you, friends, for being here. Thank you for being so wonderful in the chat and so kind to each other. Thank you for being so kind to me. Okay, now also be that kind to yourself. right? The same the way that you've extended grace to me and to the other women in this chat, extend that same grace to yourself. Okay? Don't treat us better than you treat you. And we'll see you next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right back here with a little fun, extra fun, different type of live stream. Thanks for being here, friends. Have a wonderful day. And Philly Gang, I'll see y'all at the restaurant later today. Okay, bye, guys.